My name is Nicole Musgrave, and I'm telling my quilt story at a Community Quilt Day in Hazard, Kentucky. Today is Saturday, May 27th, 2023. And this quilt is from New Mexico, southeast New Mexico. Hobbs is the town, right near the Texas border. It's oil country, rodeo country. My boyfriend is from Hobbs, and this is a quilt that was in his grandparents' home. We recently went to visit, and it's his maternal grandparents. His mother wasn't entirely sure who made it. She thinks maybe it was an aunt of hers or a great aunt. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I just love that the squares are not quite consistent. There's some wonkiness, some inconsistencies happening, which really delight me. And I really love it. I love the blue sashing, and I love it in particular because it reminds me very much of the blue sky in New Mexico. And so for that reason, it really reminds me of that place. Um, and yeah, I guess to add the only maybe little bit of history I can share about his grandparents, um, his grandfather worked for, I think it was a nuclear plant in Hobbs, but they're dog people. They raised and showed dogs, corgis in particular. And so when we went to New Mexico recently and got this quilt, his grandfather has passed and his grandmother has Alzheimer's and is in a care facility. And so we were kind of going through their home, and it was so sweet going through their home and seeing like all of the dog stuff, like corgi jewelry, a hat that his grandmother had like cross-stitched a Labrador on and like sewed it onto a hat for his grandfather. And going through the recipe tin, there were like recipes for dog treats, and also like we found handwritten instructions for how to properly groom the dogs. And a story I love to tell about his grandfather. He was also a beekeeper. But had a little wood shop in the backyard, and they had like a wooden privacy fence. And it was so sweet. About, dog height, there were these cut out windows with like a little, I guess like metal fencing thing so the dogs could look out the window. And then driving by my boyfriend's childhood home, I saw the same little cutouts in the fence for the dogs. So anyway, not related to the quilt necessarily, but about the people who had the quilt last before me. So that's the story about this quilt.